Hello everybody, it's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. In this video, we have Tyler Cameron on Jason Tartick's podcast discussing finances. And boy, there's a lot more to Tyler Cameron than you may think. Don't let those good traditional looks of his get you confused with him, because he is a hustler. Talking about how he only had a couple $100 in his bank account while dating A-lister Gigi Hadid, to now getting paid up to $250,000 for 2 Instagram posts. Is this fair? Well, baby, he's got that equity. He's got that following, and you get paid when you got that big following. So we're going to get into this story right now. It's fascinating stuff. I'm going to share all these clips with you from Jason Tartick's hit podcast, Trading Secrets. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. Patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content. I'll be live at 10:30 a.m. right after this. And every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour podcast for all your Bachelor content. All right, let's get right into it. I've got about 8 different clips here. We're going to talk about his following size and how it changed after going on the show, to why he won't go on The Bachelor right now, how much he would have to be paid to go on, how much he got paid for modeling. So just all that interesting voyeuristic BS we like behind the scenes of a contestant. Because don't get me wrong, Tyler Cameron, as far as career options, he is still ascending. He is still being courted by The Bachelor. It would be a dream if The Bachelor could get a hold of him. I just don't know if they can afford him. Have a listen.
A suit, like with a little hat on, like a little bellhop boy.
I'm gonna have to find that. And
I
put that
have the
B-roll.
picture just deep in my Instagram, and it's hilarious.
We're gonna go deep into that. I want to do like a little rapid fire pre-show. How many followers do you have at pre-show?
Like 2,000, 3,000.
2,000. Who signed you? What agency signed you modeling?
That's a hilarious story.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, so I have no followers. I'm just posting random pictures, just me and the boys.
Shirt off, I assume.
Yeah, I was still a big boy. I was like 250 coming down. I was slimming down. You know, it was post football days.
Okay.
And this dude keeps I'm like 230 at this point, so it's still pretty big. And this guy keeps like writing like fire ambulances underneath my photos. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I click on it. It's like, oh, casting director for blah 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 blah. And so then I was like, man, I'm living at my mom's house, and I'll take any opportunity. So I hit him up. I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? He's like, and then immediately he's like, have you ever modeled? I was like, no. He's like, you should model. I was like, I don't know about all that. He's like, send me digitals and I'll get you, intro to some people. I was like, what's a digital? So he sends me these photos of like these dudes like in their underwear and shit. All these photos that are just like, very kind of provocative.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I'm really about to send some stranger pictures of me in my underwear. Like, he's just going to, what's he going to do with it,
Yeah.
And so then I was like, well, fuck it, what do I got to lose, And so my boy comes over, Mike, and my brother, we're in my mom's bathroom, right? Mike's got he's like the only one I know with a nice camera. So he's taking photos on his camera. My brother's got a light.
This is hilarious.
And he's holding the light like over his head like this. And we're just shooting these photos.
And you're in your underwear.
And I'm in my underwear. I'm in my Calvins, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the funniest photos, man. I'm like squatting, like doing the exact poses I see those people doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at these at the end, like cracking up. I'm like, I'm really about to send these out. So I send them out. And then he's like, these are great. He's like, he's like, next week, he's like, you have meetings with every agency in Miami. They all said yes to you.
So Tyler Cameron, just a hit model before going on Bachelor, and then after being on The Bachelor, he briefly touches on his relationship with Gigi Hadid and how little money they had. Have a listen to that.
I got
how little money he had.
$5,000 in my bank account. I don't know what my next job is, and I'm dating Gigi Hadid. What was that like?
Not even 5,000. I had like 200. You know what I mean? I'd be going on dates. This is like one of my early days in New York City. I'm living on Matt's beanbag.
Yeah.
Right. I'm living on Matt's beanbag.
This is it though. When you're a bro, man, living in a big city, you don't even care. He's living on his buddy's beanbag. I bet you it's one of the happiest times of his life. We've all been there. I used to sleep on a friend's air mattress, and every night it would leak, and I would wake up, and the air mattress would be tacoed up, happy as a clam.
Have no money, and I'm like the happiest I've ever been, because it's just like the world is wide open to me in New York City. I can do whatever I want.
Bingo.
And I remember I'd be going on dates. I'm like calling Pops up in the bathroom. I'm like, yo, Pops, like, I don't think my credit card's gonna go through. I need you to send me some money right now. And he's like, you got it, son. Go get it. and he'd send me some money. I'd cover dinner and whatnot. But I was just like, I remember there was like some touch and go points there where I was like, man, hopefully my card swipes. I'm over here swiping with my eyes shut. Just like,
dude, we've all been there. But geez, dating an A-lister, dating one of the most famous, or probably the most famous model at the time, and doesn't even know if his credit card's going to go through. And that's because after going on the show, you can't do modeling opportunities. You can't really profit after being on the show unless it's approved by the franchise. So it's tough out there, but of course he had this huge following he was building. So even though he didn't have money in the actual bank account, he had that equity. So he then discusses how many followers he got after the show.
How many followers do you get?
After the show?
Yeah.
I think I end up at like 2.2. That's where I'm at right now. I'm guessing so.
So 2.2 though, because you had like the wildest things happen. Hannah Brown's season was one of the biggest after Colton's season.
Yep.
At no point were contestants, not leads, contestants getting millions of followers, and you and Hannah end up potentially leaving everybody on the edge of their seats.
And this is why their follower count blew up, because everyone wanted to see if Hannah Brown and Tyler Cameron would get together. Do you guys remember this? They were being spotted by paparazzi after he was leaving her place. The fact that they teased their relationship was brilliant and led to, it converted so many fans to go follow them on social media when the season was over.
Like, we're possibly going to get back. We're going to go on a date. Paparazzi's following you around New York City. And then all of a sudden, this dude from a fucking ABC reality show like that is now dating the top supermodel in the world. Did all that stuff help, instantly catapult your growth? Or are you saying you were at 2.2 right after the show?
I think I was already there. I was already high. I think I just kind of solidified, where I was and who I was in that moment.
And here's why he won't go on The Bachelor.
It's so hard. But you told me then they're asking you to be the Bachelor, and you said that you decided not to do it and you didn't want to do it. My intuition, you didn't say it, but my intuition was that it was because you were busy talking to possibly Gigi.
I think there's probably some truth to that. But I honestly I remember when I got off the show, I met with I had an agent, and then I fired that. I had a talent agent.
Yeah.
And then I fired that talent agent. And then I took a meeting with my new agents. And it's funny because they were all these young girls at WME.
Yep.
And they were all, I didn't know this at the time, but they were all junior agents. They weren't even real agents yet, but they all played me like they were real agents.
I love that.
And but there was one agent that really stuck out to me and really became really tight and close with me. And when I came to them, I had all these ideas and things I wanted to do. Okay. And she's like, usually when talent comes to us, they don't really have anything they want to do. They expect us to do that.
Sure.
And she's like, that really shocked us. We didn't even want to sign you. We just wanted to hear the gossip, But then after I left that meeting, they all wanted to sign me.
Okay.
And so, but they all thought that if I were to do it at that time, it would have just pigeonholed me. And that would have been the end of what I could have done.
Career-wise, they said
career-wise.
So they you'll be the Bachelor, you'll always be the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Just as a side note, this podcast is way too successful for the quality of microphones they have. They need to upgrade to the Shure SM7B microphones, and you got to upgrade to a new arm here, because I'm hearing a tinny sound. Aren't you hearing this? Just if in case Jason's listening, you gotta upgrade those. Well, these are $100 microphones, and there's some ground noise happening.
Don't be the Bachelor. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're offered the opportunity. Now you look at the show, and we're going to get back into your modeling and construction, but you look at where the show is, not doing quite as well as it was during the days that you were on it. Mm-hmm. Would you, and you're still single though, still a massive commodity in the dating scene, would you ever become the Bachelor?
I always say I never say never. I think because I'm not a person who thinks of things as I'm too good for this, I'm too good for that.
Yeah.
If something's cool or fun, I want to do it. It'd be so cool to tell my kids, yeah, son, I was the Bachelor, and I did this, and to me, that's what life's about, making adventures and experiences, and that. To me, that shit's cool. I can give at the end of the day, it's all story. You know.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say never say never. But I think the Bachelor needs to evolve a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's just. It's still set it's, season 12 of The Bachelor. It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Very
12
true.
hours. What would you charge? Ideally.
So it's asked how much you would charge for a modeling shoot.
In a perfect world.
Yeah.
Like just a
It varies.
ball,
It varies.
like 20, 30 grand, 40 grand, like ballpark.
I mean, I had a job that we charged 90 for.
90 grand. Okay.
So I got a charge that we charge there. It just depends on what it is.
Okay, so
like,
here's what-
like I did Calvin Klein for $7,500.
Gotcha. So brand and stuff like that.
But
let's say
exposure, brand.
Yeah, but let's say 7,500. Let's say you did one shoot for 90K. Let's say on average, based on what you're telling me, in a day's work for modeling, you get 60 grand on average. You combine them all. Is that fair?
Yeah, but
Okay.
but we're also more selective. I'm not doing jobs all the time.
You're not doing all the jobs. But here's the point of why I said that. Before the show, getting 1,000 for 12 hours. After the show, you've built this brand. You're doing really well with it. Now you're getting in the entrepreneurial world. 60,000, all from the starting point of a show. Now, obviously, you've grown it to another level. Why would investing another 3 months into possibly being the lead of another reality show, would you look at it as a step back when you've seen your rates and everything multiply by like 100 times?
I definitely think it is a way to boost what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's a way to get a bunch of attention and things that you're doing. But like, let's talk strategy.
Yeah.
Why would I just do it if I don't have everything set in place?
I see what you're saying.
Why would I?
So he basically says if he wants the rest of his career set in place, so then if he does go on the show, everything else that he's created can then be magnified more, which is a great, hey, look, I mean, when you talk about there for the wrong reasons, wouldn't you want to marry a guy? Doesn't that make Tyler more desirable if he goes on the show with all of his ducks in a row versus someone who goes on the show and has no career paths? That's more desirable to me. All right, here's where he talks about how much money he makes on Instagram.
Streams that are now funding all these things that are helping your family grow, and now you're building such a presence in Jupiter. Which has been the most productive? Is it or most lucrative? Is it modeling? Is it appearances?
Social media.
Social media by a long shot.
Yeah.
So you'll make more in a post than you will.
My uncle, he's a really, really big, smart business guy.
Yeah.
He made me do a list. It was all the ways I make money.
Yeah.
And it was, and then what makes me the happiest out of those things. So it was like a ranking, and it was like 1 was social media, 2 was like appearances, and like TV, radio.
All right, so social media is his most lucrative, and here's how much he's made on some of his posts.
Probably social media in total.
What's the best brand deal you've ever done in social media?
Best brand deal I've ever done in social media. Man, them deals with Bumble used to kick ass.
Oh, because of the results or the money?
My Steve Madden deal was great.
Steve Madden deal?
Yeah.
How much did you like posting?
That was
you
my
have to do
modeling.
for it?
That was just a modeling shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a great one.
6-figure opportunity?
Yeah. No, it was right. I had some 6-figure ones. Yeah, I don't even know which ones. I mean, I've had great ones. I don't know.
I don't want you to get in trouble with the brand. What is the most you've ever been paid for anything post Bachelorette, for doing some type of collaboration or work or anything? What's the biggest dollar number you've gotten since the show?
I think I did a deal. It was like a 2-post deal for like $250.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
$250,000 for 2 posts on Instagram. But hey, you can't fault the guy. He built a following. He did it his way, and he got lucky and rode those waves. And we're looking forward to see what Tyler Cameron does in the future. I love talking business like this. Good for him for really cashing in. Gone are those days when it comes to contestants cashing in. But then again, Tyler Cameron's like a unique character in the sense that he is a traditional model type. Most people that go on the show like play a little guitar, sell some dog food, whatever. But Tyler Cameron's like, he would have been legit without the show, and he's proven that post-show. All right, let me know what you guys think. More content coming your way every afternoon. Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast. Link in the comment section below. You can stream it on your phone, computer, your car. I'll call you if you want me. I'll do it a cappella. Whatever you guys need. Bachelor Rush Hour, the afternoon podcast. We'll see you then.